Here are hundreds of names. If you go on the website and look up Chatham House, Tavistock Institute, Common Purpose, you will read for yourself what these people are doing. And your money and taxes is being used to create the doctrine which is going to pull the country apart. These are the people feeding into the cuckoo. And the cuckoo is the third sector. So all of our traditional governance has been pushed to one side, and this is the cuckoo, and you've heard it, the third way. And it's full of hundreds, thousands of government departments which we never used to have, but now we desperately need them to run ourselves. Well, no, we don't. They're backed up by a huge charity sector. And most of you, because you're nice people, think that charity is about cream teas and buckets with pennies in. But actually, it's a £44 billion industry, of which 10 or 15 of the biggest charities suck up most of those billions. And their agenda is political because they take up the doctrine from these change agents. And they push it into our parliament, and it's coming now down to the parish councils. So when you see MPs trotting out the little paraphrases, it's because these change agents have been successful in pushing the new agenda in. It's very easy when you know what to look for. And where does all the poo drop? It drops on us, because we're ignorant and we don't know this is going on. Well, we do. And once you see it, it is so obvious. Talk to your local councillor, and he will tell you that in the council, it is the officers who are now running the councils, and they do it with a very strong agenda direct from central government. So the democratically elected councillors are being pushed out for a common purpose. Now, most of you, I would guess, know and have heard of Common Purpose. I'm trying to do something slightly different today, but I've got to do a little bit about this organisation. Common Purpose is a very dangerous change agent because of how it is changing people's views and values. This is the lady. She's the chief executive. I was a bit mean because I paused it at this precise moment. She doesn't like me. She doesn't like me. She really doesn't like me. But we've been doing something. We've been talking about her. We've been talking about her organisation. We've been publishing things. We've been making videos. And now she has had to come out of the woodwork and show herself. And it's interesting what we can learn, because our efforts, and that's with your help as well, has put Julia into the limelight.
I think you do have to be brave as a leader. And I think you as a leader, you have to be particularly brave if you move outside your own space. Because the chances are very, very high that you will make mistakes. You're going into a space that almost by definition everybody around you will know more about what they're talking about than you do. You might have lost the habit of making mistakes. Maybe you've got quite good in your own space. Maybe you're used to being good in your own space, and then you move out of it and you begin to trip yourself up and you make mistakes, and sometimes you don't mean to. Some of the instincts that have served you so well in your own space can almost lead you to do the wrong thing. The best example I can give you of this is I have 5 children, and they are all absolutely beautiful sailors, and all like their father, beautiful sailors. And I hate the sea and I loathe boats, and it is my maternal duty once a year to spend most of August sailing off the west coast of Scotland. And a couple of years ago we went out to sea, and with hindsight we definitely shouldn't have done it. It was a frightening experience that everybody was having a lovely time except me, who was utterly terrified. And halfway through this trip, my husband screamed to me because Tom was sitting on the other side of the boat looking very happy. About age 7. And my husband screamed, "Tie rope to Tom." And the idea was that if Tom fell off the boat, we could pull him back in. So I scrambled across this disgusting boat and tied a rope to Tom. And then we landed. And my husband said, "Not the anchor rope." Now, you may find this very hard to believe, but in my own space I'm quite good. It's called dry land, and instinctively I tend to do loosely the right thing. When I get out to sea, I never do this on purpose, but almost inevitably I make a mistake. The kids would tell you that story and many others of disasters on boats that involved their mother. And the temptation is to stay on dry land, not to go out to sea where I inevitably make terrible mistakes. But somehow I think you have to force yourself to move outside the space and the land that is familiar. To cope with the mistakes and to forgive yourself for them, even when you tie rope to Tom. And to remember also that sometimes the option of just staying on dry land isn't there, that actually the world will come in your direction. It does require you to move outside your own bubble occasionally, and so you better get on and get used to it.